to the Wheatfield. It's been a minute. I apologize. May has really been an interesting month, so I might as well share about it, right? The title of this message is The In-Between. And I actually had this title based on something that had happened in December. And in April, when I was reflecting on this thing that happened in December, which is a really quick story, but basically, I was stressing majorly in December while Christmas shopping about, long story short, we're currently homeschooling. We're planning on doing private school next year at this small little school down in Georgia, which we've moved, by the way. Newsflash, I feel like I got to do a whole message about that at some point. But basically, I was really stressed. I had to get the kids' applications in for the school back in December. I got them in. I knew I wasn't going to hear until April. I was semi-freaking out inside, and I was Christmas shopping with a friend, this cute little store in Tennessee, and I was like, literally just started praying, God, I'm like, please let us get into this school. I don't know what else we're going to do. I feel like we're not supposed to be homeschooling after this year. Please, please, God, please let us get into this school. And honestly, when I opened my eyes, in front of me was this teeny tiny Christmas tree that had bows all over it. That's not rare at Christmas, except for what is rare, there was a bow in the middle of it, like a hair bow, that had the exact logo and colors of the school that I had just applied for, okay? It's very rare. It's green and yellow. That's not a common Christmas color. And it had a big logo on it, the exact logo of this school. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I see you, God. You're showing me you're in this. I'm not going to stress about this until April. I'm giving this over. You just totally confirmed that we're good. I'm going to be at peace. You've already handled it. I'm not going to stress about it. Except for that's not what I did. I stressed. Even though he gave me that confirmation and I felt total peace that he was in it and I needed to let it go until April when we were to find out if we got accepted, I didn't. I just stressed. I was worried. I talked about it so much that my family was like, please stop talking about this. It's going to be fine. I'm sure everything will work out. Come to find out, fast forward to April, we got the letter. They got accepted. All is well. And I thought about the in-between. The in-between time of God confirming something to me with that random little hair bow on that Christmas tree and him bringing it to fruition. The in-between time for me was December to April. And I failed miserably. I was in fear. I worried. I didn't trust him. I wasted that time. What do we do with our in-between? Sometimes our in-between is minutes. Sometimes it's days and weeks, years, decades. Maybe it's been your whole lifetime you've been in an in-between season. And I was reminded of this whole in-between scenario based on something that happened a couple weeks ago to my family. And I can share the story because she's already shared it on social media, but my sister got diagnosed a couple weeks ago, early May, with stage 2 aggressive form melanoma. And when her dermatologist, it was very out of the blue, when her dermatologist called and told her this, was not a promising report. It was like, we can't treat you in this office. It's probably already in your lymph nodes. You got to get to an oncologist. And that was on a Thursday before Mother's Day weekend. And thankfully, our between her getting diagnosed on a Thursday and her finding out that she wasn't in her lymph nodes and all of it was out of her body was only a week, which is unheard of because really she had an appointment with an oncologist 2 days from now just for a consultation, and she got seen. Lord just moved the pieces in a major way. She got diagnosed on Thursday, was able to get into an incredible oncologist surgeon on Monday for a consultation. He told her it's going to be a couple weeks before we can do your surgery. We're backed up. They called her that day and were able to do her surgery the next morning. And within 3 days, she had the all clear. Okay, so our in-between time was a week, which is a miracle. I can't explain it other than God. We can do a whole nother lesson on how miraculous that one thing was. And if you're in an in-between with a cancer diagnosis that's long, because most of them are, prayers go out to you. But our in-between was a week, okay? And, you know, we could have lived in fear and the downward spiral in our in-between of hearing that she had melanoma and getting closure from it with a doctor's. And we did for some minutes. We lived in fear and we downward spiraled and we Googled and we did all the things. But the majority of the time in that in-between, you know what we did? We had prayer chains and prayer texts from a million different friend groups going on. I can only speak for myself because I was not the one with the diagnosis. So I know my sister was feeling a million things. We had worship playing, Bible verses floating back and forth on sister chains and parents chains and friend changes about peace and how God goes before us. We had just trust. We cried out to God in worship. I know I did that. That's what I spent my in-between doing that week. Maybe there were moments of forgetting that God goes before us and trusting that he had this, but I spent the in-between trusting him. And that is not to like toot my own horn. It is to say, I didn't have any other option. And if you're in an in-between, maybe you're waiting on an answer. Maybe you're waiting on a healing. Maybe you're waiting on a physical healing or an emotional healing or a marriage to be healed or a relationship to come into your life and you know that God's in it and you're just waiting on it. Maybe you're waiting on a season you've been in for a long time for it to be over and a new season to come. And so I just want to encourage you that during the in-between, that's what I call it, between when God speaks something to you and you actually see it come to fruition, we have to pray and we have to trust him. And I share this verse all the time on here, but I'm going to come back to it. It's Jeremiah 17:7-8. But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when the heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord. In your in-between, trust in the Lord. One more thing. In Exodus 14:4, be still. That's what we're told to do. The Lord will fight for you. All you have to do is be still. That's what we need to do in our in-between. It's easier to navigate, and either way, God's got the outcome. See you soon in the Wheatfield.